Good afternoon, this is Chandra Easton here from StarAstrologyHealing.com. I'm just giving you a bit of an update on what's going on astrologically in February. There's been some very big things going on in Australia with tens of thousands of people travelling to the national capital to take their message to the politicians that they're unhappy with what's going on in our country. And the most disconcerting thing about this is that it's not being reported at all, like literally at all, by the national broadcaster, the ABC, by the radio, the television. I think there have been a couple of 1 minute mentions of it in the mass media. So this is very much a people's uprising and a people's movement that's been inspired by the truck drivers in Canada moving for change. Anyway, one of the things, there's a couple of things. As an astrologer, I always look at the chart if I want to find out what's going on. And so I thought I'd just give you a bit of an update. Now, this chart here is cast for Canberra, as you'll notice up here, and I've cast it for the 16th of February. That's it's about a week away. Today is Wednesday, I think, so it's Wednesday next week. And you'll see I've called it the Sun Square the Nodes, and I'll just point this out to you. Whenever we're talking about humanity en masse, we must discuss the past life point, the Nodes, which is sitting here in the 27th degree of Scorpio, and this is the sign of Scorpio up here. And the North Node is in the 27th degree of Taurus. So this is what we call the Nodal Axis. You could say this is where we've been as the human species, and this is where we're going. Just to break it down a little bit, the last degrees of Scorpio are the degrees associated with cruelty. And so here we have the Nodal Axis in the degrees of cruelty. Pretty well all through February, and I can't recall when they move out of. The degrees of cruelty are 26.5, 27.5, 28.5, all the way through to 30 degrees Scorpio. So on the 16th of February, the Sun, and here's the Sun, gets to number 27 degrees Aquarius, and it sets up this pattern. See the big red square? This is a fixed grand cross. So it's like being caught between a rock and a hard place. So here's humanity as the Sun's moving through these last few degrees of Aquarius in a point of great tension or conflict, or the opportunity for transformational change around matters to do with big cruelty that we've created through our many lifetimes on Earth. And the resolution point is over here. And this side of the Grand Cross, this is the Earth with the cross in the middle of it. That's the planet we're living upon in the 27th degree of Leo. I haven't looked up what the degrees of the zodiac are about, but yes, I'll just read them. These are the Sabian symbols. So the nodes are in the degree referring to the king of the fairies approaching his domain. Well, I'd be inclined to say that this is to do with invisible, holy, spiritual beings who would like to be closer to Earth, but cruelty is in the way. The destination point, the North Node, the degree is a mature woman reawakened to romance. Well, maybe this is one aspect of humanity that are reawakening to the fact that we do live on a material plane, but the spiritual worlds are inherently significant, providing meaning. On February the 16th, when the Sun's in the 27th degree of Aquarius, we have a tree felled and sawed. Well, I can only hope that some of the fundamentals to our toxic society are felled and sawed. Yeah. Over here in the resolution point, the 27 degrees Leo, we have many little birds on the limb of a large tree. Now, of course, these sayings will mean different things to different people. But when I read that, I'm immediately reminded of the tens of thousands. Look, we don't know. Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? Is it 20,000 people have travelled of their own volition, some of them from as far away as Perth, as far away as Alice Springs, as far away as Queensland, down to the Australian capital to make their voices known to the Parliament. And we have simply today, I think is it the 8th today, they've been staging peaceful protests for about 8 days outside the Parliament. None of this has been reported, as I mentioned. And today, for the first time, there's been a delegation of the First Nations people, a couple of the Indigenous elders whose country that is, finally getting an opportunity to meet with the man who holds the Prime Minister's office and the opposition leader and the head of the Speaker of the House. Not sure what will come about that. Okay, so I'm hoping that there'll be a dismantling of some of the very cruel matters that have been inflicted upon society all over the world, not just in Australia. And I'm hoping that there'll be a breakthrough around this 16th of February. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll be right on that day. It could be 3 days before, up to the 16th, or 3 days afterwards. So the period from the 13th to the 19th of February, there's an opportunity for a breaking open and a healing of old karma. Okay, that's one thing that I wanted to show you. I'll just open up now the Federation of Australian chart, because I want to show you something else. So what I have here is the Australian Federation chart in the middle circle, and this date, the 16th of February, the day the sun squares the nodes around the outside there. And I want to bring your attention to the number 27. Can you see here the number 2720? And that is the Aries ascendant of the Australian chart. So we were sent here as convicts, a lot of us. We were a sort of a dumping station from Great Britain a couple of hundred years ago, and there was genocide occurred on the First Nations people, and now we have the planet Pluto in the 27th degree of Capricorn. And lo and behold, it's sitting in that degree around the middle of February. So what we have here is a very strong Pluto transit impacting the Australian nation. Now, a Pluto transit can be a deep cleansing, and I would say it's a cleansing of the misuse of power and corruption, and a misuse of the sole direction of the Australian nation. So this is very powerful to have Pluto square the ascendant on the Federation chart. Yes, I think I might just stop there. I don't know if there's anything else. There's so many things I could talk to you about, but that will do for the moment. Anyway, this has been Chandra Easton from Star Astrology Healing. Jump onto my YouTube channel or my website, Living in Light, starastrologyhealing.com, for lots and lots of discussions and talk about the great change that we're moving through. That's all. Bye for now.